Thank you, baby.
GDK.
So I look on the internet and I see Puff Daddy's son come out in GDK. Why would you even try to involve yourself into a GDK movement? Y'all do anything, y'all industry people do anything to try to be cool, bro. At the end of the day, bro, you gonna get yourself. Let me be quiet.
It's one thing to be a real gangster, and it's another to claim it. Maybe Diddy's son, King Combs, wasn't aware of that when he decided to pick a fight with some of the most brutal gangs out here in Chicago, the GDs. And guess what? He wished he never did.
GD folk, GD folk, GD folk, GD folk, D-Cypher, D-Cypher.
Got in contact with P. Diddy's son, and now he shook, talking about he ain't in the gang no more.
So, we already know everything about Diddy's arrest, how this guy turned the whole industry on its head with no conscience. But one thing nobody saw coming is the impact it now has on his family.
I feel like if Puff heard this, he would have stopped this. Somebody should have stopped that. Someone should have stopped this. Somebody should have said, yo, dog.
Word is, ever since, King Combs has been getting himself in a lot of mess. From flaunting gang signs up and down like he was some sort of honcho, to getting down with Ray J.
Diddy's son's running down on your boy Ray J.
Yeah, they got lucky. They got lucky the homies wasn't there. You know, for whatever reason, Ray J didn't have the homies there.
And even choosing to diss the greatest clapback king of all time, 50 Cent.
All that gossip is whack, when all they had was 50 Cent. Who put the city on the map?
King Combs doesn't realize that he is not as protected as he used to be with his father in jail. And moves like this, well, they could greatly cost him his life. Let's dive in. King Combs claims GDK. So things really started to turn wild when a video popped up online of King Combs yelling out GDK, or Gangster Disciple Killer, and throwing up hand signs tied to the Rakes, which is a clear reference to the GDs, one of Chicago's most feared gangs.
Thank you, baby.
GDK.
That clip went crazy online. Folks were like, hold up, what's King Combs on? Why is Diddy's son, a dude who grew up with money, fame, and everything handed to him, suddenly trying to rep gang life? Especially one that's tied to serious beef and real danger. King Yella checks Combs. One of the first to check him on it was King Yella, an actual GD who's been around that life. In a response video, Yella sounded both confused and annoyed. He said, "So I get online and see Puff Daddy's son screaming GDK?" You could hear it in his voice. He couldn't believe it, especially with Diddy already deep in legal mess.
So I look on the internet and I see Puff Daddy's son come out in GDK.
Yella made a real point. Why would you even get involved in some GDK drama right now? Like, this ain't the time or the life for that. With everything swirling around Diddy, the last thing Christian needed was to fake a street persona that clearly ain't him.
It's not a good time while your daddy fighting all these allegations and crazy stuff he got going on with him right now.
But Yella wasn't done. He dropped a little bomb. He said King Combs actually hit him up asking for advice on how to get into drill music. That caught Yella off guard. He was like, "Bro, why would you even want to rap about drill stuff? You ain't from that. You weren't raised in it. You got a rich pops who's out there battling wild lawsuits and you out here screaming GDK like it's a trend?"
Should you do drill music? I said, bro, why would you do drill music? You don't even come from the streets. You don't come from none of that. He was like, you right.
Basically, Yella told him straight up, stay in your lane. Don't try to play street when you grew up surrounded by security, assistants, and chauffeurs. And Yella kept it even more real. He warned King Combs plain and simple, the GDs in Chicago don't play. Don't let them GDs get with you, dude. Goofy.
You took a picture with me. Why you ain't tell me to my face you GDK? Why you ain't say King Yella, I'm GDK?
It was a loud and clear warning. This straight cosplay could turn dangerous real quick. The video of Christian Combs screaming GDK and flashing those signs started making serious noise on social media. People were clowning him. Some were genuinely concerned, but most were just calling him out. One person commented, "Screaming GDK from your pop's $12 million mansion is a level of insanity I never thought I'd see." While another said, "I'll never get why rich kids want to act hood so bad." Someone even took it there, saying, "He better shut up before Diddy catches another body." bringing up that wild rumor about Diddy allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car over Cassie.
And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in the driveway.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
heard
know about
that.
this car blowing up?
I heard about that. I definitely heard about that.
King Combs denounces claim. But things got a little more interesting when King Combs hopped on Instagram to clear the air. After all the heat he was catching, he decided to shut down the rumors, saying straight up, "I ain't affiliated with no gangs and I'm not a gang member." Basically, he was trying to dead the whole conversation and let folks know he wasn't really about that life. But King Yella wasn't buying it. He clapped back in a now deleted post, throwing some shade and sarcastically thanking King Combs for capping. Yella reminded him that even if he was just pretending, it was still wild to be acting like that in the first place. He said, "You live a good life, stick to it. This gang banging ain't it. We can switch spots if you want to." Then Yella went even further in a video, saying he's the type of dude who makes people publicly apologize for faking gang ties. He said, "Hey, Puffy's son, I'm proud of you, man." But the way he said it, you could tell it was laced with sarcasm. He added that he's got a rep for making people come clean when they're not really gang affiliated. And Yella didn't stop there. He used the moment to speak on something deeper. He called out the difference between people who grow up struggling in the trenches and folks like King Combs who are born into luxury. He told him plain and simple, "You were born with a silver spoon. If you want to be a gangbanger, let me be the son of a billionaire. I'll gladly switch." Yella broke it down even more. People in the streets are usually trying to get out, not stay in. He said, "I don't want to gangbang. I don't want to live like this. I'm trying to get to the bag so I can provide for my kids." His message for King Combs? Don't throw away the life you were blessed with just to play a role that don't fit you. It's not a good look, he said, warning him to stay away from gang stuff before it drags him into something real. Combs in comparison to Chris Brown. Funny enough, King Combs isn't the only celeb who's had to deny gang ties lately. Chris Brown's name keeps coming up too. People had been accusing him of being down with the Piru Bloods. For a while now, folks have been side-eyeing him for having this weird fascination with gang culture, even though he ain't really come from that world.
St. Louis was popping.
From flashing red flags to throwing up gang signs on stage, Breezy's been acting like he's official. But a lot of people think it's reckless because throwing up sets without really being in them can bring a whole lot of unwanted attention, and not the good kind. In a sit-down with Vlad TV, rapper Trey D, who is a known Crip, spoke on something a lot of people have been wondering. Why would someone like Chris Brown, who's already rich and successful, even want to be tied to gang life? Trey D didn't sugarcoat it. He said, "It's either a psychological defect where you don't want to enjoy your life and wealth, or it's peer pressure. Like, do you really want this for yourself, or are you just doing it for protection?"
Why would you want to be rich and start fighting people? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Is this what you really want for yourself, or do you feel that this is the only way you'll be secure in certain areas?
He touched on something real, this strange contradiction where someone has made it out of the struggle but still feels the need to prove themselves in the streets. And honestly, that same logic applies to King Combs too. People are saying that by even dabbling in gang culture, especially shouting out GDK, King Combs is basically sending signals to a world he has no business in, and that could open the door to some real consequences. Some folks are even speculating that the GDs might try to extort him if they think there's a bag to be made. Let's be real, gangs don't care that you grew up with a butler and a Bentley. If they see weakness or clout, they might see a target. Diddy's allegations and case at stake. And with all the chaos around his dad, Diddy, things are already heated. The legal storm surrounding Diddy has shaken up not just the industry, but his whole inner circle. Since Diddy got locked up, his family, including Christian King Combs, has been under a microscope. The charges against Diddy are heavy, and even though they're still just allegations right now, the fallout has already been huge. While Diddy sits in the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, denied bail 3 times, everyone close to him is catching strays. His employees, friends, and even his kids are being questioned about what they knew and when they knew it. Some are even reportedly facing their own legal heat. And right in the middle of it is Christian. Since Diddy's arrest on September 16th, King Combs hasn't exactly gone quiet. He's still been active on Instagram, posting for his nearly 3 million followers, showing up at public events, and even pulling up to court to support his dad. He was seen attending his girlfriend's fashion show and showing love at his father's hearings, alongside his brothers, Justin and Quincy. Meanwhile, Diddy, aka Sean Combs, is facing some of the most serious charges of his life. We're talking racketeering, conspiracy, human trafficking, and even transporting individuals for prostitution. The Southern District of New York is painting him as the head of a full-blown criminal operation allegedly set up to fuel his darkest desires. If he's found guilty, Diddy could be facing up to life in prison.
The details were not publicized, but it would have given him a lighter sentence than what he faces if he's convicted on all counts, which is up to life in prison.
As of this moment, the trial has commenced. In fact, Diddy has denied every single allegation against him. His legal team is standing firm. No plea deals, no admissions. They're ready to fight. Word on the street is Diddy might even take the stand himself. That's a bold move, especially with the kind of charges he's facing.
Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Omarki to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio.
It's just a status conference, but trust, everyone's watching closely. Now, Christian King Combs hasn't said much directly about his dad's situation, not publicly at least, but it seems like he's using his music to speak. Back in March, when Homeland Security raided Diddy's LA mansion, Christian and his brother Justin were inside. They got cuffed briefly while the agents did their thing, but neither of them got arrested or charged, at least not then. King Combs doubles down with 50 Cent. Fast forward to May, Christian drops a track called Pick a Side, and he didn't hold back. It was clearly aimed at the folks coming for him and his family. One name he definitely took a swing at, 50 Cent. And if you've been following, you know 50's been clowning Diddy online since day one of this mess. But let's not pretend this is Christian's first time being caught in drama. Remember the lawsuit from record producer Lil Rod? That one dropped some serious bombs. Lil Rod accused Diddy, Christian, and Justin of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Yeah, Christian's name was right in the mix, and that wasn't some wild internet rumor. That was a federal-level lawsuit with real legal weight. Then came another lawsuit, this time from a woman named Grace Omarki. She says she was working as a crew member and bartender on a yacht that Diddy and his family rented for what was supposed to be a chill private vacation in December 2022. But according to her, it wasn't chill at all. She described the whole vibe as wild. Parties, sex workers, celebrities, and a lot of sketchy energy. Grace claimed that on the early morning of December 28th, Christian pressured her to take a shot of tequila. She says the bottle was brought on board by him, and she believes it might have been laced. According to her, shortly after that shot, Christian assaulted her. She said he cornered her, got physical, and turned aggressive. There's even an audio recording from the yacht studio that reportedly backs her story. In that clip, she's heard asking Christian, "Are you drugging me?" And he allegedly responds, "Take the shot."
He alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas.
That's not just chilling, it's damning. She also said Diddy himself grabbed her arm and tried to force himself on her. He only backed off when another crew member walked in, and get this, it all supposedly happened on the same night Lil Rod says Diddy assaulted him. The whole situation is beyond messy. Now Christian, instead of laying low, drops a diss track like none of this matters. In Pick a Side, he brags and throws shots. He raps, "Police raid the crib like they think we selling crack, but we out here selling tracks, multi-million-dollar plaques." This is where Christian really slips up. By boasting that the feds missed evidence in the house next door, he basically ends up dry snitching on Diddy, low-key admitting there's something incriminating in another spot. And when he turns his attention to 50 Cent, Christian fires off with, "When all they had was 50 Cent who put this city on the map, stop lying." Let's pause right there, because that is not just a diss. That's basically telling the feds they hit the wrong house. Like, bro, did you just snitch on your dad in your own verse? But the line that really turned heads, Pop's been hated on by many men and that's fine. They gon' try to stop these M's and they gon' die trying. It's a bold move, dropping bars while your dad's facing life in prison and you're being named in lawsuits. It's like Christian's trying to flex in the middle of a hurricane and it's not landing well. A lot of people think he's out of touch, like he doesn't understand how serious things are. Instead of addressing the scandals head-on or staying quiet like most people would, he's doubling down, posting, rapping, making noise, all while his dad sits behind bars and the walls keep closing in. In his track, Christian tried to get slick with a wordplay. He referenced 50 Cent's classic Many Men and even nodded to the album Get Rich or Die Trying. He thought it was a power move, but honestly, it came off weak, like cringy weak. Instead of landing as a hard-hitting diss, it felt more like a kid trying to swing at a heavyweight with pillows in his fists. Nobody really took it seriously, not the fans, not the blogs, and definitely not 50 Cent. As always, 50 didn't hold back. He jumped on Instagram and immediately started trolling. He posted, "I feel so threatened by the things Christian is saying on his record. I'm afraid for my life. Please don't hurt me, guys." Then he added that he never mentioned or posted about Diddy's kids, sarcastically saying it's only because Keefe D said he K-worded Tupac. Then came another post, this one even darker. 50 wrote, "I really don't understand why they want to drug women. If you can't remember how good it was the next morning, how do you connect?" And just when you thought he was done, he went in on one of Christian's most reckless bars, where King told 50 to suck his woods. 50 clapped back. "Damn, Christian Combs, is that what you told Grace O'Marquez on that boat, huh? Gave her the puffy juice with that special sauce in it? LOL, boy oh boy, bad boy for life." It was brutal, but 50 wasn't done. He reposted a clip from Christian's song again, the part where Christian brags about the feds raiding the wrong house. That one line where he basically admits they had evidence in the crib next door? Yeah, 50 made sure everybody saw that. He captioned it, "Now why would you say some ish like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is he stupid or is he dumb? LOL." And that's where things went from messy to disastrous. Some people thought 50 was just doing his usual trolling, but others, especially folks who know how the game works, saw it as more than that. Like Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, he chimed in and said straight up, "Christian's playing with fire."
I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro.
Gene warned that Christian's messing with the last person he should be beefing with. According to him, 50's not some random rapper throwing jokes around, he's strategic. He's locked in, and now he's fully focused on taking Diddy down. Remember, 50 Cent is making a whole documentary about Diddy's alleged crimes. That's how deep he's in. He's collecting receipts, timelines, testimonies. This isn't just Instagram jokes anymore. This is legacy shaking. And here's Christian throwing shots like he's bulletproof, but people are warning him this ain't it. Online, folks are saying Christian is biting off way more than he can chew. They're saying he should be laying low, not putting a target on his own back. He's playing a street character he's not built for, and in a world where the wrong look, the wrong lyric, or the wrong post can attract real-life consequences, that's dangerous. This isn't just a rap beef, this is legal drama, federal investigations, and million-dollar lawsuits. Diddy's under a microscope, and now Christian's handing out free reasons for the feds to zoom in on him too. It's one thing to pretend to be about the life, and it is another to actually own up to the consequences when it backfires. Christian might have learned about how serious joking with the GDs is, but how long will it take till he gets himself into another trouble?